You are standing on the bathroom scale at 6:30 a.m., staring down at the digital numbers in absolute heartbreaking despair. You've been doing everything exactly right. You are religiously logging every single calorie into your fitness app, scanning barcodes like a machine. You are skipping breakfast, eating tasteless salads, and sweating on the treadmill until your knees literally ache and your lungs burn. Yet when you look in the mirror, that stubborn, dense, protruding layer of belly fat hasn't moved a single inch. In fact, it might even feel harder, more prominent, and more resistant than it did a month ago. You think you just aren't trying hard enough. You think you have a broken metabolism or bad genetics, or that you simply lack the willpower to see it through. Stop right there. I need you to delete that calorie counting app immediately. Throw it away. The fitness industry's golden, undisputed rule of eat less, move more is not just failing you. It is the exact biological trigger that is actively forcing your body to stockpile visceral fat. This brings us to the most dangerous and widely accepted myth in modern weight loss, a myth that has generated billions of dollars for the diet industry, the calorie deficit trap. For the last 4 decades, we have been aggressively brainwashed to believe that the human body is nothing more than a simple mathematical equation. We are told it is a basic, unthinking furnace where calories in must simply equal calories out. But your body is not a calculator. It is not a bank account where you can just make withdrawals. It is a highly evolved, brilliantly complex, and aggressively defensive survival machine. When you severely restrict your calories and force yourself into an artificial energy deficit, you believe you are dieting for a summer vacation. However, your primitive brain, specifically the hypothalamus, interprets this sudden, drastic drop in incoming energy as a catastrophic, life-threatening event. It doesn't care about your aesthetic goals. It genuinely believes you have entered a deadly famine and that you are going to starve to death. The precise moment your brain registers this perceived starvation, it slams the emergency brakes on your entire metabolic rate. This is a deeply ingrained evolutionary defense mechanism known as the Famine Response, designed to keep our ancestors alive during harsh winters. First, your thyroid gland immediately slows down its hormone production to conserve energy, dropping your core body temperature and making you feel constantly fatigued, lethargic, and physically cold. But the most devastating and permanent change happens inside your endocrine system. Your adrenal glands, sensing the emergency, flood your bloodstream with powerful survival hormones. These hormones act as a desperate, screaming signal to your liver and fat cells. Stop burning fat immediately. Shut down the fat-burning pathways and start hoarding every single calorie, every single crumb of food we can find. And where does your body specifically choose to store this incredibly precious emergency fuel? It doesn't put it in your arms, and it certainly doesn't put it in your legs. It packs it tightly, layer by layer, around your most vital internal organs, your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, and your intestines. This is visceral fat. Unlike the soft, jiggly, subcutaneous fat just under your skin that you can easily pinch, this survival fat is dense, metabolically active, and fiercely protected by your biology. By aggressively starving yourself, eating tiny portions, and doing endless hours of exhausting cardio on an empty stomach, you are actively creating the perfect, inescapable hormonal storm for visceral fat accumulation. You are punishing your body, and your body is fighting back the only way it knows how. By building an impenetrable biological fortress of fat right in the exact center of your abdomen to protect your vital organs from the famine you created. Think about the sheer cruelty of this vicious cycle. The fitness gurus on social media and the billion-dollar weight loss conglomerates sell you highly restrictive meal plans, point systems, and overpriced low-calorie protein bars filled with artificial sweeteners. They convince you that hunger is just weakness leaving the body, and that if you are suffering, it means it is working. But every single time your stomach growls with that hollow, gnawing pain of caloric restriction, Every time you feel faint from skipping a meal, you are actually amplifying the chemical signals that lock away your belly fat. You are trapped in a metabolic prison of your own making, armed entirely with the wrong advice. It is a physiological, scientific impossibility to starve away this specific type of stress-induced belly fat. In fact, the harder you try to starve it, the more aggressive and stubborn it becomes. Let's delve deeply into the specific chemical messenger that orchestrates this metabolic disaster, neuropeptide Y, or NPY. When you aggressively cut calories and your blood sugar drops, your brain produces massive, overwhelming amounts of NPY. This is an ancient, extremely powerful neurotransmitter specifically designed by evolution to drive intense cravings and stimulate the rapid growth of fat tissue, overwhelmingly localized around the belly area. This is exactly why, after a week or two of strict dieting and willpower, you suddenly find yourself uncontrollably binging on carbohydrates, cookies, and chips late at night. It is not a lack of willpower. It is not a character flaw. It is a biochemical hijacking. Your neuropeptide Y levels are literally screaming at you to consume dense energy to survive the famine. And because of the hormonal environment you created, every single gram of those rebound calories is funneled directly into expanding your waistline. Now, I want you to perform a quick physical check right now, wherever you are sitting. Press your fingers firmly into your stomach. Does it feel soft and squishy, like dough that you can easily manipulate and pinch? Or does it feel tight, dense, and protruding outward like a firmly inflated basketball hidden under your shirt? If your belly feels hard to the touch, you are dealing with something far more sinister, far more dangerous than leftover holiday weight. This is the hard belly illusion, and it is the ultimate medical proof that not all body fat is created equal. To truly understand why this hard fat completely ignores your calorie counting and your cardio routines, we have to look past modern fitness trends and dig deep into the forgotten archives of endocrinology from the 1990s. During this specific era, brilliant researchers who were mapping the human stress response made a terrifying paradigm-shifting discovery regarding a survival hormone called cortisol. They found that chronic, low-grade stress, the exact kind you get from sleep deprivation, financial worries, modern lifestyle demands, and ironically, extreme yo-yo dieting, floods your entire systemic circulation with cortisol. And the cellular receptors for cortisol, the little docking stations that absorb this stress hormone, are highly concentrated in one specific area, deep inside your abdomen, wrapped around your organs. The 1990s archival data revealed a chilling reality that the medical community largely brushed under the rug in favor of selling statins and weight loss pills. When these deep, visceral fat cells are constantly bathed in high levels of cortisol over months and years, they physically mutate. They stop acting like simple, dormant storage units for excess energy. Instead, they transform into an independent, hyperactive endocrine organ. Let me repeat that. This hard, deep fat literally acquires a life of its own. It begins to hijack your biology, aggressively pumping highly inflammatory cytokines, interleukin-6, and toxic metabolic byproducts directly into your portal vein. And where does the portal vein go? It flows straight into your liver, poisoning your primary filtration system. This is the hidden, terrifying reason why you feel sluggish every afternoon, why your joints ache for no reason, why your blood pressure creeps up year after year, and why you are developing insulin resistance. Your hard belly fat is no longer just weight. It is an active systemic infection. It is a rogue organ continuously dripping poison into your bloodstream. And here is the brutal, undeniable truth that your fitness app and your calorie calculator will never tell you. A simple calorie deficit cannot fix a systemic hormonal crisis. You cannot simply walk on a treadmill and expect to exercise away an organ that is actively secreting inflammatory toxins. Your body, in its infinite but misguided wisdom, perceives this toxic hard belly as a critical defensive shield against the constant daily barrage of cortisol. As long as your stress hormones remain elevated, your body will fiercely, desperately defend this visceral fat. It will stubbornly refuse to burn it for fuel. Instead, if you force it to lose weight, it will choose to cannibalize and burn your precious muscle mass. This is exactly why your arms and legs might be getting thinner and weaker as you age, while your hard belly stays exactly the same size. You are literally fighting a losing battle against your own evolutionary survival mechanics. Right now, I want you to perform what we call the 5-second pinch test. Sit down in a chair, relax your stomach muscles completely, and try to grab and pinch the fat around your belly button. If you can easily grab a handful of soft, folding tissue that moves around in your hand, that is subcutaneous fat. It might be cosmetically annoying to you, it might make your jeans fit tightly, but from a medical standpoint, it is metabolically relatively safe. However, if your stomach is protruding like a drum, but you can barely pinch an inch of actual skin because the fat is packed so tightly beneath your abdominal wall muscles, you are in the immediate danger zone. That is pure, highly inflammatory, visceral fat. It is physically suffocating your internal organs, and no amount of restrictive dieting will save you if your cortisol remains locked in the on position. Now, listen to me very carefully regarding current medical treatments. If you are currently taking prescription weight loss medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or other powerful metabolic and diabetes drugs prescribed by your endocrinologist, do not throw them away. Prescription medications are powerful tools that manage severe metabolic crises every single day, and I am absolutely not telling you to reject modern medicine. You must step up and become an empowered, informed patient. Ask your doctor sharp, specific questions about how these medications interact with your underlying cortisol levels. Always request comprehensive hormone panels, and always seek a second or even a third medical opinion before making any drastic changes to your protocol. But remember this crucial, non-negotiable rule. Never stop or change your medication dosage on your own without professional medical supervision. You do not need a starvation diet to fix this hard belly. You do not need to suffer. You need to flip your biological switch from a state of famine and stress to a state of safety and abundance. To finally melt visceral fat, you must install a daily cortisol kill switch. Tomorrow morning, do not fast. Do not force yourself to run on empty. And absolutely do not drink a cup of black coffee on an empty stomach, which only spikes your adrenaline and stress hormones further into the red zone. Instead, within 30 minutes of waking up, you must consume at least 30 grams of high-quality protein, like 3 whole eggs or a pure, clean protein shake, along with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. This immediate targeted influx of dense, stabilizing nutrients sends a massive, powerful neurological signal directly to your hypothalamus. It tells your primitive brain, the famine is over. We have food. We are safe. By actively lowering your morning cortisol spike with this simple, specific nutritional routine, you force your liver to stop hoarding emergency energy. You command your hard belly fat to finally unlock its toxic stores and burn them away. Stop obsessing over every single calorie. Start managing your deep biological stress. And watch how unbelievably quickly your waistline shrinks when your body actually feels safe enough to let the fat go. Thank you for watching. Empower yourself with knowledge and take control of your metabolic health today.